Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Milena Rivero about season 4 of Cobra Kai, streaming now worldwide on Netflix. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's exciting. I mean, I'm really curious about the audition process and how you kind of got involved with Cobra Kai. What did you know? Did you know you were playing Leah? Did you know you were playing kind of a love interest in Anthony LaRusso? Like, what did you know?
I think it was a little obvious the way they auditioned that it would be a love interest sort of thing going on. But I didn't know the complete personality of Leah when I auditioned. I just knew that she was liked, that she was cool, and then I obviously got there and the character developed.
Oh, absolutely. Not your first Netflix project. You have worked on other Netflix projects in the past. You knew what to expect a little bit, but it's safe to say it's pretty crazy right now.
Yeah, no, I definitely wasn't expecting like the outreach that it had. I mean, of course, Cobra Kai is such a huge show, but all the interaction I'm getting on like my social media, like a lot of things are happening. Like my friends keep sending me stuff like, "Oh my God, I just saw you in Cobra Kai. You were so good." I was like, thank you so much. Like I wasn't expecting everything.
It's pretty cool too, because there's so many, like I've seen you do other interviews as well. It's kind of paying tribute, homage a little bit to, the original kind of love triangle with, Daniel, Johnny, and Ali. Now we have Kenny, Anthony, and Leah, right? It's pretty...
I know, yeah. That's exactly what I thought when I was reading the scripts that I was in, like, my episodes, and I was like, you know what, this sounds a lot like the original Karate Kid. Almost like it was, like, returning.
Oh, it's amazing. Has it hit you, though, how you talked about kind of the support and the fans? People love Leah. People are interested. It's been pretty worldwide because it's on Netflix. It's been pretty global, which is cool, too.
I know, yeah. I have family in Costa Rica that's watching it right now, too. I have a lot of people in, like, different countries sending me, like, oh, my God, it's #1. I was like, oh, my God, I'm so excited for this show, that I'm on. It's, like, a great opportunity. Absolutely.
Does it excite you? Because, people probably ask you this all the time. You're focusing on season 4. It's pretty cool, though, the potential of what could happen in Cobra Kai, but what could also happen moving forward with Leah. Like, it's pretty cool to think about it. There's a lot of fan theories as well. Has it been overwhelming, kind of taking in a lot of kind of the fan ideas and theories about Leah?
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember when I first announced that I was going to be on Cobra Kai before season 4 came out, there was a lot of theories going around. I saw some YouTube videos about it, and I was like, oh, okay, it's getting some traction. And then when, it came out, there were so many theories, and I'm like online, I'm seeing all these things about Leah, and I'm like, she's a very open character, and she can, be open to do a lot of things in the future. So I'm really excited for her and for me to act it. And
I see online too, people are just, it's very simple why Leah is becoming kind of a fan favorite. She's just a very kind person.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm just really excited for her. Everyone thinks she's super nice, and I'm like, good, I did my job good.
Or maybe it's almost like, maybe she's too nice. Right?
Who knows? We'll see, I guess.
What was it like kind of working with Dallas and Griffin on some of those scenes?
Yeah, no, I think that we had really good chemistry. I think that it was really easy to work with them, and I love working with actors my age because, it's like some sort of relatableness.
100%, yeah.
Actors that are kind of in the same age range, and I think it was really fun. I mean, they're professionals, so you see people working your age that are really good at acting. You almost get inspired by them.
100%.
Yeah, and I was great friends with all of them, and it was really fun, honestly, overall.
What's the mindset when you're going in the early stages of going to work on Cobra Kai? You book the role, it's excitement, that it's one of the biggest shows on the planet. But what is your mindset in the preliminary kind of stages, a couple days before you shoot? What's going through your mind?
I mean, I think that, when I was getting up to Atlanta, I was just I wasn't completely aware of what I was going to feel when I got on set, and then I did, and then it kind of just all hit me like a truck. I was just like, wow, these are really great actors. Like I stepped on set and I saw like a lot of like, I saw Johnny. Well, and I was like taken aback, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is what it's like gonna be, when I'm filming. And I think as I got into it, I kind of just got used to it. But definitely when I first got on there, it was wow.
And have you had a chance to watch season 4 or see some of your scenes?
Yeah, I watched it as soon as it came out. No, and then I'm a fan of the show because when I got the role, I had already watched like season 1 and 2, and then I got the audition. I was like, okay, well, I got to do this now. And then I got it, and I was really excited. So I was already being a fan of the show. It was just like, I had to watch season 4 immediately. I was on the edge of my seat the entire episode.
It's so great to hear that. So was it kind of weird though, knowing that you went, like, it's one thing going and like shooting the scenes and everything and then like playing it back. Like what was that like, kind of, because you go in and you're maybe depending on certain scenes, maybe it like felt like it would have looked different than it was when you saw, right? Like what was that like when you kind of watched it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess in some of the scenes, I was like, oh, I didn't know that they were going to, like, use all those angles and stuff like that. But honestly, for me, when I was watching it in season 4, I was like, oh, I remember exactly how I felt when I was filming this. Like, I remember exactly what I was thinking or what take this was, and it just, like, it felt kind of fulfilling to see it on screen finally.
Oh, absolutely. And, you're doing these scenes and, there's an amazing crew behind Cobra Kai, the writers, the producers, the directors, the stunt team. Like, it's just amazing. Obviously, Milena Rivero is focusing on her acting. That's what you're focusing on right now. But does it inspire you when you see a big production like Cobra Kai to one day go behind the camera and maybe write and direct and produce, or is acting kind of what you're focusing on right now?
I really enjoy writing, but I also really enjoy directing aspect of film.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something I want to explore, and even more behind the scenes. Like I really enjoy learning about all the costume designs because I'm really into fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like to talk to stylists and costume designers on every set I'm on because it's just so fascinating to me. Like this is the field I want to go into, so I want to learn all about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such an amazing team behind Cobra Kai. So I'm sure there was a lot of...
It's so good.
Was there a lot of opportunities sometime? I mean, you're working and you're bumping into a lot of people. Was there any kind of advice that anyone gave you? Like that, because, you're, like you said, like yourself and, the people around the same age, like Dallas and Griffin, it's the first kind of season where you guys are like a big focal. We have your big storyline. Did anyone give you any advice about kind of what you were getting into of Cobra Kai?
I mean, I didn't really have anyone to tell me like what the big scale of Cobra Kai was going to be like. I just watching it and being a fan, I only knew that.
Yeah.
And when I got into it, I remember before we were filming, where I was like, oh, Strawberry Ghost, I love that entire scene in the high school, right? I remember I was about to start our first take, and Dallas was like, oh, this is your time to shine. And I was like, oh, that gave me like a boost of confidence, I was like, okay, I got to do my best now. And, I just went for it. And I think it was a great scene because of that.
100%. I find it very interesting because a lot's going on in season 4. So many storylines, so many focal points. Obviously, with the return of Terry Silver, what's going on with Miguel and Johnny. There's like so much happening. The All Valley tournament, obviously. It's pretty cool, though, to see the impact that the storyline with the new rivalry of Anthony and Kenny and Leah has kind of become like a fan favorite kind of storyline in terms of interest and everything, with everything going on. It's pretty cool to see that, right?
Yeah, no, I think it really is. I mean, this whole like love triangle, but also intense rivalry between the two of them, it's just almost reminiscent, right?
Oh, absolutely. So you weren't because I had a chance also, I interviewed Brock and Jaded about this too. One of my favorite scenes of the whole season, in my opinion, was the library scene. That's one of my favorites. Were you around that day when they were filming that?
Yeah, I was around, and it was so sad because I was gonna watch, because I wanted to see like this intense fight scene that they were gonna have, because I read it in the script, and I was looking, and then right before, like, I got to see all the stunt doubles, which is so funny. I mean, seeing double of everyone's like hilarious because they look so much alike. And I was like, oh, I'm seeing double. And then right before they were gonna start filming the scene, I had to leave. They pulled me. I was like, "Oh, you're gonna go back to set." And I was like, "Dang it!"
It's so funny too with the stunt team and the stunt doubles because they do such an amazing job on Cobra Kai. Like, it's so good specifically. But I always, I've talked to other people about this. I feel like the easiest kind of stunt doubles are like, I grew up watching like Power Rangers, right? They're in like a suit and a mask.
You can't even see them. Yeah.
Which I always thought was hilarious and so true because you can't even see them, so it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't even matter, you know. But the ones that they chose were like, I was honestly shocked. I was like, wow, this is gonna come out good.
Well, when I spoke to Jaden, you know, he gets tripped and then he gets kind of hit, but it was him that got tripped and then his stunt double kind of got hit down. So I thought that was really interesting because sometimes you don't know. Like, I spoke to, you know, Owen Morgan last year who played Bert, and when they had their big Christmas fight scene at the LaRusso house, there were some moments where I thought it was his stunt double, but he was like, no, that was me who did the kick.
Yeah, no.
Which is amazing. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I think some of them do their own stunts for like certain things, and I think it's really interesting because you have to learn how to look real.
It's so crazy, and I think that becomes kind of a focal point too. Like you said, you're a fan of Cobra Kai. You know, everyone look forwards to the big kind of fight scenes.
Like, yeah, definitely. I was like, oh, I really want to see how this goes. And then when they took me off, I was like, oh no.
Were you, because I know also, you know, your storyline wasn't really part of the All Valley tournament, except for Kenny obviously was in it. But were you around for any of those days?
No, I was so sad. I left like right before they started filming all that stuff. So I was like, oh no. But when I saw it, it was even more surprising because, you know, I wasn't around, so I didn't really know who won.
Yeah.
But I kind of grateful, I guess, because it like gave me a plot twist.
Pretty much.
Like I was not expecting it, but it did.
You're a storyteller. That's what you do. You know, we talked about, you know, the acting, but we talked about, you know, you're interested in directing, maybe like that. It's all storytelling. What excites you about storytelling specifically?
That's a good question. I think it's that you get to put your own interpretation on it every time you do it. You know, like every single take is going to be different. Every single advice that a director gives you is going to be different.
Yep.
And I think it's really the way you as an actress or you as anything costume designer will interpret it that makes everything unique, every show unique, every episode unique.
That's a really good answer. Yeah, absolutely. And I also think there's so many amazing stories out there, and they're finally getting told. Like, there's a lot of stories that weren't told that are finally getting told as well, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I feel the same way.
It's so awesome. Milena, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. It was great chatting with you about Cobra Kai.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really fun.
Absolutely. So yeah, season 4 of Cobra Kai is now streaming on Netflix. So if they haven't watched it, you know what they could do, right? They could watch it again.
Watch it.
Which is amazing. Obviously, you know, people could follow. There's an Instagram account where you're posting a lot of stuff as well, where they could follow.
Yeah, mine is Milena_Rivera_official. So go follow that.
Amazing. This has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popturn for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Milena Rivera, who plays Leah in season 4 of Cobra Kai, streaming now on Netflix, and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.